appreciate the Magic community. I really appreciate the gaming community and everything that we've done together, the good and the bad. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Really excited to share this story. Feel a variety of emotions. Definitely a bit nervous and uncomfortable, but I feel that it's something that should be done. So I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Drama, gossip, expose, the whole story, something that I've been wanting to tell this story for ages. It has to get done at some point. What better than right now with the release of Enter the Battlefield? Hopefully in a month, 2 months, we can move on. We can forget about this. I don't like to bring up the past, but it just has to be done for me, for us, for the community. So this is why I was cut from the Enter the Battlefield movie, Magic movie, why I was cut from Channel Fireball. And before we go any further, I have to say I've got respect and forgiveness for Wizards of the Coast. I forgive Channel Fireball. I forgive me. I don't have ill will. There's been good and there's been some bad, but there's no hate. There's no hate. It's cool, but some of this stuff needs to get said. There's no NDA. I haven't signed a non-disclosure agreement about anything, so I can do it, and I feel like, again, I'm obligated to do it, and I don't feel any risk in doing it because of the connection that we have, the community that we've built. People are here to protect me and step up. You have my back, so I feel safe to do this, and I feel like it should be done. So hear me out. This is going to be a slightly long story, but it's worth hearing until the end. I promise you. It's very interesting. You can learn from my successes and from my failures. So a good place to start is with my mission. Really, I have a mission. It's arbitrary. I picked a life mission. Help people move, think, and feel better. Magic's an arbitrary game. My arbitrary vehicle. Help Magic players move, think, and feel better. I have a mission, I have an agenda. You can see me moving in a direction and trying to push the game in a direction. That's why I'm so preachy, that's why I'm dogmatic, but it's also why I've done so much for the game, why you've seen me on streams, preaching physical fitness, trying to help Magic players move better, feel better, putting much love, heart Travis everywhere, trying to make Magic players feel better, trying to make Magic players think better. Here's what we can take from the game. Here's lessons, 60 card lifestyle, trying to spread it, Magic in schools, and so on. So some of you understand how much I've done for this game, really, or how much I've given. I feel like I've given a lot of my life for this game, and I've gotten a lot from the game, but so much of it has been focused on giving back for a long time now. And the reason why is because of what I've accomplished. This is not at all to brag, but to illustrate what happens when you accomplish everything you want to accomplish. I had bucket list goals for Magic, and I crossed them all off a while back. Top 8 a Grand Prix with my own deck, check. Build a Pro Tour top 8 deck, check. Top 8 a Grand Prix with my brother, check. Play in the Pro Tour with my brother, check. Write pro content, check. Meet all my idols as peers. Check. Okay, done. What do you do when you accomplish everything? You give back. So that's what I've been trying to do. I have not been perfect at all. I've made plenty of mistakes, and we'll get into that. But it's important that you understand my general mission. I haven't always been good about it, and I know I've stepped on a lot of people's feet along the way. Secondary philosophy, and this will explain a lot as well, is I have this philosophy that don't take shit from anyone. Block out, cut out negative people or whatever. That actually works really well in real life. Very well in real life. It works not very well on the internet. If there's 1,000 people in your streams and 50,000 people reading your articles, there's too many people to block and to fight. And for me, it just looks bad. I got into a lot of fights with a lot of people and message boards and trolls publicly, and a lot of people don't like me for that, and that's okay. And you can see that on Reddit. There's a thread last year that has 200, 300, 400, 500 people talking about what a bad person I am, how I've got all these drug problems, and so on. But so that's what happens when you don't take shit from anyone on the internet. Tough guy about trolls. So that also really explains why I've been so aggro about things. And again, I was in. Oh, there's a lot of times where I thought that someone was slighting me when they didn't perceive that, and then bam, we're just in this fight or whatever. So that's my mission. That's what I've tried to accomplish, or been trying to do, and that's kind of my philosophy. So let's move into the juicy, good stuff, the drama, why you're here. Skip from 2010 to 2014. 2010, when I started writing for CFB. 2012, when I started doing it full time. And when I say full time, it was part time work with part time pay. I kind of treated it like it was full time. I used my full time creative energy on it, but I mean, it was cool. You know, the pay is fine because it let me do other things like train and study a lot and build my basketball channel. So, you know, it is not wasn't perfect, but there was a lot that was really cool about it. Especially because in 2014, when I went to play on the Pro Tour with my brother, I decided that I would stay over there, and it's actually cheaper to live in Spain than in the U.S. So that's how I was able to do that, and then to England and back, is not because I was paid well at those times, but because it's cheap to live over there if you stay over there. So that's what I was doing. Now in 2014, when we went out there for the Pro Tour, that's when we first met with Enter the Battlefield. Nathan Holt, Sean Kornhauser, really amazing work. These guys have a lot of passion, and they did an awesome job in the movie. So we had a shoot in Spain and we had a shoot in Seattle. We had two magic shoots and two physical training shoots. Shot on the basketball court, shot on at the Pro Tour, shot at a school in Seattle. Went into a school and helped kids build decks. It was really cool. And did some training on the beach. You know, it would have been cool to be in the movie, whatever. They put me at the end. Special thanks. Much love to Tiwu. Right. But later on they were forced to cut me out, which we'll get into. But it was a cool experience, and I feel like I have a lot to add to Magic, and I think I had a lot to add to that movie uh, with kind of my mission. But oh well. Anyways, so 2000, skip to 2015. This is a little more than a year ago. Two main things were happening in 2015. The one, it was clear that I was going to have to leave CFB. It was becoming more clear for a variety of reasons. Just because I had hit a critical mass of hate with the trolling and counter trolling. There was just too many people that didn't like me, and every single comment had more trolls. It got to the point where I was stressed out to ever like click and read the comments, but I did it anyway because I felt like it was my job. And then I would either try not to look or react or try to reframe it, but nothing really worked other than changing. I knew changing my environment would work, and changing it here has really helped with that. Changing my environment to Facebook streams from Twitch streams and stuff like that, where people have less anonymity, turning off the chat so I can't see it. That stuff really helps. But at the time, man, I just couldn't handle it. It was stressful, and then there was some other stuff behind the scenes. CFB was cool, but at the same time, like I was gonna need to do something else for money that whole time. Like I'm telling everything, I haven't signed anything. I made about 2,000 a month for most of that. Subtract self-employment tax and health insurance and all that, and I'm living off like 1,800, 1,600 a month. You know, it's not it has its perks, but and again, it's not a full time thing, so it's not like whatever, right? But at the same time, I'm the most trafficked writer on the site. I've got the most YouTube views. I am selling the most cards because I can see the effect that I'm having in the secondary market, and I'm not getting paid more. You know, what can I do to get paid more? You can write more. Okay, I'm writing more. And man, now it's turning into this crazy grind. I don't know how long I can keep this up. Um, the real thing that made me see that, and I really should have talked to them about this before, but one of the main things that made me see, all right, I really need to get out of here, is that my social media links were getting removed, and then my Heart Travis started to get removed. I would always sign my articles with Heart Travis, and those were started to get edited out, and then it's just like, okay, I can't stick around. But again, I have no ill will. We did a lot of cool stuff together. Um, But my plan to get out was not to go get a real job. I'm not good at getting real jobs, and I get fired from things. So no surprises here. But I started writing this ebook, Magic for Good. I thought it would be a useful thing I could do, and it would help me build my own brand. So that's something I started doing at the start of 2015. So that was one of the main things going on in 2015. The other thing going on in 2016 is I started to read a lot of books, like a lot of books. I think I was reading 4 to 6 hours a day during the summer, just trying to learn more about, things, the world, whatever. So that summer we did a project where I would read all the most influential books in the world. We did this together actually. We made a list, right? Some of you actually participated in that. And you can Google for this book list. It's still on my Facebook page. What are the books that impacted the most people's lives? I was going to read them and talk about them on stream. Obviously, some of those were really black books, but it seemed, hey, the goal is kind of to figure out the not what happened in history, but the perspectives of history, right? Just read read the powerful books. So obviously, I'm tempted into the dark, taboo stuff, and I end up streaming that. That wasn't the only kind of controversial book review stream, but that one blew up like crazy. It's still on YouTube, and I haven't tried to have it take it down because it's not that big a deal. When you understand the big picture of what went into it, it's like whatever, right? And you can watch it, and there's some stuff that out of context is really bad, and in context it's questionable. I mean, but there's not really any hate or anything like that there's some naivety. I think I was naive, and I think that I was insensitive. And, but I also thought, whatever. There's a big picture. I'm going through the books of history, right? Anyways, so some people are like, what happened? Why did CFB react or whatever? What really happened is I had so many trolls, the pressure that I had built up, the enemies that I had built up, again by my own doing, that they went on. There was a massive Twitter reaction of people like, Tibu's evil, fire this man, fire him, fire him, fire him. So CFB really had to take reaction. It really got out of hand. The quotes out of context are pretty bad. But again, you can go watch the video. It's not a big deal. Most people who watch it are like, "What did you get? Why did you get cut?" It's what happened on Twitter and what was happening. I was also getting difficult to work with. I was not because of the stuff getting edited out. It was like I was getting annoying to edit. I was micromanaging my edits. So, and I had caused other controversy just because of the troll stuff. It made sense to get rid of me. I think that CFP made a fine decision in that. But I mean, what? Yeah, I think CFP made a fine decision. Although I might have played this part poorly, where I made this big apology. I really apologize for a day to hundreds of thousands of people on Twitter. Like, I'm sorry, I'm a fuck up, I'm a bad person, whatever, whatever, whatever. And that really got into my conscious for the next months, where it's like I got into this period of self loathing or whatever. I knew that I needed to grind my way up, which I've been able to do, but I changed the name of the book from Magic for Good to Deck Mastery or Magic Learning, because I thought that I couldn't represent Magic for Good because I was bad. But I'm slightly past that. It's still kind of traumatic, especially since I put up this apology and CFB put up this thing distancing themselves from me, which is fine, totally understand that, but there's this bit that says that I'm uh, did some hate speech or speech associated with hate groups, and that's like my top hit on Google. That's the really stressful thing, is if you look on Google, it's just so bad, and that makes my life a lot harder, or at least I think it does. It's still traumatic for me, and I'm trying to work my way through it. I don't know, but I will figure it out, and I think that by telling my story, this will help me work through that and move through that. I know there will be some trolls in this, but I also know that a lot of you do care about me and want to hear this story, so here it is. So I also thought, hey, maybe I should apologize to Wizards, apologize to Helene. So I sent Helene an email, and and then what do you know? I got a phone call from Nate saying that they had to take me out of the movie. Again, much love to Nate and Sean. I'm sorry to steal attention from this if that's what I'm doing, but I also think that you encouraged me to do an apology like this at the very beginning, and I didn't. So it's time to do that. Or and I think if anything, Watsy might have made a mistake because there's so much controversy around the release of this movie, anyways, and with the other characters in there, I think that I was a net gain for Magic, and I still am a net gain for Magic. It's kind of crazy how loyal I am to this game. Magic for good, and so on. So, this isn't really a pity me thing. This is just here's what happened, and here's where I am. It's not that big a deal. The Deck Mastery ebook dropped, and it has done okay. Some people have read it, and I've been doing other things through coaching and growing the basketball thing more, coaching Magic players and coaching people go through transformational change and traumatic situations like me. This has been a blessing in many ways. There's some negativity, but it also forces me. It cuts off my avenues of escape because getting a real job was hard to begin with. But if people really look at Google, things get more difficult. But it cuts off my avenues. I have to do my own thing. So that's really what happened. I'm sure I left out some details, and you can comment below or message me if you found this helpful. So if you want to help, what can you do to help? Adopt my mission, help people move, think, and feel better. It's not my mission, it's just a mission. Adopt that mission. Share some of my good ideas. Do that. Also, get the Magic for Good ebook if you haven't. This isn't a big whole sales thing, but it is available, and that is a way to help. And there's a link to that below. It's through Patreon. I don't need that money. I'm going to make videos regardless, and I am not going to starve without it, but it does help, and I give you something awesome in return. There's other stuff in there, bonuses, so check that out. Check it out, the link, and share the ideas in here. And if you saw this early, is this a mistake for this video even being up? Should I take it down? What do you think? I don't know. I did a pros and cons last night. One double check on the notes before we wrap this up. I did some pros and cons laying in bed last night and this morning, like, should I do this? 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 And I thought that the net pros were bigger than the cons. So we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you for watching so much. I love you. Really appreciate you. Honestly, the community, like, I really still live in this community, and I'm happy that I'm still able to do this and still able to do my missionary work, whatever, preacher here. So I appreciate you. Send me a message, send me a comment, let me know what's up. Get the ebook on Patreon, a link to that below. Peace out, y'all. Much love.